Welcome to our Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023 meeting. We'll start today's meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the first item on the agenda today will be election of officers. Well, I know this is new for you, but the first meeting of every year, we decide who's going to be the chairman of the board and who will be the vice chairman of the board. And nominate anyone and everyone will vote. Okay. So I would entertain, we'll start with chairman. I would entertain motions for the commissioner chair of 2023.
Nominate Chad Banks.
I have a nomination. Do I have a second? I'll second the nomination. Any further discussion? And then I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. And opposed, the same. Next, I'll open the floor for nominations for vice chair.
I nominate Teresa Basinger.
Second.
Okay, I have a nomination and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. Okay, moving on, the next item on the agenda is our county attorney, Matt Shipman.
Good afternoon and welcome, Rob, to the fray. I have a couple things just to kind of update you guys on. I'm working with Katie mainly, but also with Brad a little bit on a couple of ordinances that we're updating. One of which I just got feedback to them on the right-of-way ordinances, kind of just clean up some of the language and changing it, and also the license plate ordinances for buggies. I should have hopefully those ready, subject to Katie and Brad's approval for the next meeting. The last thing is I reminded on the way over that that my contract we're supposed to redo every year, so I will get that to Tiffany and you guys later today for you to review, and State Board of Accounts just likes us to do one every year, so I'll get that over to you as well.
As far as the right-of-way ordinance, you said you could have that by our next meeting. Do you know that you will have that available for our review?
I sent it to Brad and Katie today, so it depends on how much. I think so, yeah. If not, we'll table it.
Okay, because I know that needs updated. Okay.
It's about 6-7 pages, and there's a pretty decent amount of changes, and there's some stuff that that the director and engineer are kind of in charge of, and you guys, and making sure that you guys are comfortable with all that. And
okay.
So hopefully we'll have it maybe even yet this week too.
Okay, great.
Anything else, Matt?
Nope, unless you guys have questions.
Questions from Matt? Okay, next item on the agenda is the 2023 board appointments and assignments. For the commissioner boards and committee assignments, we had a chance to discuss, and so we have this. I can read this aloud and let everyone know what everyone's doing. So for Rob Shipman, Board of Finance, the Historical Committee, the Plan Commission, Joint Advisory, and Solid Waste Board. And for myself, Board of Finance, Parkview EMS Oversight, the Mayors and Commissioners Caucus, Community Corrections, and Solid Waste Board. And for Commissioner Basinger, it'll be Board of Finance, the Drainage Board, Solid Waste, Emergency Management, Region 3A, Redevelopment, and Economic Development Corporation Investment Board. Sound right to everyone?
I'll make a motion to accept the 2023 board and committee assignments.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. We also have some appointments that are due for the planning and building departments, actually for redevelopment commission. And I would entertain nominations for redevelopment.
Nominate John Myers.
Second.
We have a nomination for John Myers and a second. I'll call for the vote to accept that nomination. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. Opposed, the same. So,
I will nominate Frank Kessler.
Second.
okay, I have a motion and a second for Frank. I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. Opposed, the same. And then Tiffany, maybe you can help me out, but it's my understanding when we talked about it at the redevelopment commission that the school board appointment is something the commissioners vote on as well
I believe so.
to accept.
Yes. Appointed member of the school board serving the area in the TIP district, their non-voting member.
And I have not heard from anyone at the school corporation about any changes. I know that Jill Western is currently the school board rep. And I know that she's very active. She doesn't really miss a lot of meetings. She has great knowledge. So I have no issue, no problem with her staying on the redevelopment commission as the school board representative.
Are we aware if she wants to continue since we haven't heard from the school corporation?
No, we're not aware.
Um,
And I believe that she missed the last meeting of the year. And so there wasn't really a discussion with her. But I feel that it would be appropriate to reappoint. And if they would like to change that later, then we can do that.
Okay. I will make a motion to nominate Jill Western as the school board appointment as a non-voting member on the redevelopment commission.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. Let's see. Any boards and appointments that we're missing? Anything?
Don't believe so. I think that was it.
You've got Teresa's the other spot on there, so, and I'll have these ready for you to sign after the meeting.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is probation credit card, Ed Beber. I'm not sure yet. Ed is here.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
As many of you may or may not know, Ed Beber, recent new chief probation officer. We still currently have a credit card for our department. It's under my predecessor's name, Amy Motter, requesting the credit card be placed in my name. Or also something to consider, my predecessor, Amy, she is still currently running our therapy dog program. So if you guys would be okay with it, to at least consider the idea of maybe her keeping a credit card under the probation department and she told me it would largely be under veterinary bills, grooming, so on and so forth. So it would be specifically just for those, but that we would both. If not, it wouldn't be the end of the world. She could just use mine, which is something.
Are there other examples of departments having more than one card? Like,
Other than commissioners.
is it
I don't think
typically just
so.
department heads or?
I think of who else has. I think it's just department heads that we have right now. Again, it's up to you guys how.
Sure.
As far as, and I know this is completely different scenario, but like our canines, how do they purchase? I know obviously like food and all of that is included, and I would assume that the handler would buy all that.
Or they can get the sheriff's credit card, or Jody has one as well. They use hers a lot. And they'll
Okay.
just give the claims in for her. They don't have their own credit card for the handlers.
Would that be too much of a problem? I guess how often do you guys utilize your credit card?
Not as often as many other departments. It wouldn't be that.
Okay. I guess when I had saw you requesting one on there, I wasn't thinking about Journey, and she does have a lot of items to purchase. I think I would feel most comfortable just the chief probation officer having a credit card, but if you two feel strongly about both of them, I would be okay with that as well.
No, I mean, ultimately, it has the oversight on that, so. Whatever is the commissioner's pleasure.
So her card would solely be used for the therapy dog, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I would be fine with that. And then I think I would just like to see, instead of it being a certain person's name, just having the chief probation officer having a credit card. Tiffany, is that correct? And then, or do they have to
They
come
have
back
to have
every
their
single
name.
time for permission from the commissioners?
If-
Even if
someone's- Yes. Because we have to run people's social with it when they do it.
Okay,
So
that
your
makes
name has
sense.
to be attached to it.
I'll make a motion for Ed Beber to get a credit card for the probation department, as well as allowing probation officer Amy Motter to maintain hers for the therapy dog.
I have a motion, do I have a
Second.
second? I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? And then I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. This is unanimously. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So before we move on to the payroll and accounts payable claims approval, I'll remind commissioners that at the end of last year, we discussed some equipment for the engineering department related to drainage. And I have with me the information that was provided at the end of last year. So we made a favorable pass to the council that they would fund the purchase, and they kind of kicked it back to us and asked if we would purchase that out of seated. And after considering that, I thought maybe it might be a little more appropriate for that purchase to come from the fume cap equipment maintenance line item. And so we verified with the auditor that there's currently 60,000 allocated in that fund, and that would be an appropriate use of those funds. So I would entertain a motion for the purchase of the equipment, and I would entertain in that motion, or ask in that motion that it would come from QCAP.
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? And now I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. Also passed unanimously. I'm sure you have this. Do you want this just for the totals?
Sure, I can put it up.
Next item on the agenda is payroll and accounts payable claims approval.
I had a chance to go up and look at payroll and accounts payable. Everything looks as it was in order, so I will make a motion to approve payroll.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve payroll. All those in favor, raise your right hand.
I will make a motion to approve accounts payable.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Next item on the agenda is our previous meeting minutes approval. And as discussed previously, there's two sets of meeting minutes. One is for the regular meeting on December 19th. And then there was also what was advertised as a joint meeting. However, council opened the meeting, commissioners didn't open the meeting. And it was sort of like the commissioners just gave a commissioner report to the council for the meeting. However, it was still advertised this way. We still need to approve the minutes. And I was the only one here, but I'm not really sure how. I mean, I think we'll have to, if they both abstain and I vote for it, I don't know if that's quorum of commissioners can't approve it.
But you were the only one there, so it's
Yeah.
really not a commissioner meeting with only one commissioner being present. So I think the minutes could just be amended to reflect that it was a council meeting with the commissioner representative being present. So we made a motion to amend the minutes to show that. Because the agendas can be amended. And so in essence, the amendment would be that it was just a council meeting with you being present,
Sure.
as opposed to it being a joint session. But then, having said that, you also don't need to take any action on it because it's not minutes from your meeting.
Right.
So actually, that's probably the way to do it, is just make sure council approves it,
They don't
that
need
it's amended to reflect that it was just a commissioner meeting. Or was it done as part of their regular commissioner meeting? Was it separate?
It was a separate
It was a
meeting.
special meeting on December 27th, and it was advertised as a joint meeting, but the commissioners didn't open a meeting because I was the only one present.
So I think it's just a council approves the special meeting minutes, make sure that it notes that you're present. But even though it was advertised that way, because you went, and again, this has never come up before, but I think that's the appropriate way to handle it. It's really not a commissioner meeting with only one commissioner being present.
Okay, that leaves the regular meeting from December 19th.
I'll make a motion to approve the December 19, 2022 Commissioner meeting minutes.
Okay, I have a motion, second.
Second.
In a second, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Okay, Matt, do you have anything else?
Would you know?
Tiffany? Rob, Commissioner Shipman?
I'd just like to tip of the cap and respect for the man whose position I am now filling. I have a tremendous amount of respect for the years of service he put into the county and all the work that went into it. And I look forward to giving my best effort to fill his shoes.
Teresa, anything to add?
I just want to welcome Commissioner Shipman. I think you're going to be a great addition
Thank
to
you.
the three of us, and I look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
One thing that I'll add, we have a lot of representatives today here from the County Highway Department, and they've really taken a vested interest in the recent changes to the policy manual, and they brought some things to light that maybe we hadn't fully considered. And so just a quick update on that. So under the old policy, hours for holidays and PTO and any leaves of absence would be counted as hours worked for the purpose of calculating overtime. Under the new policy, that's been removed. So I heard from the Highway Department last week, and as a result of the information provided from our employees, I've asked Payroll to not make any of the changes in the payroll system, and to allow us some time to collaborate with not only Katie, who's their department head, but also with Jason Spencer, who's the newly elected sheriff, and with possibly Todd Cook and others who will also have, who will also be impacted or affected by that. And just have a meeting and see if we can come up with other solutions to that policy. So right now it's frozen. The 22 rule still stands. The 23 rule does not go into effect until we come up with a solution, however we'd like to move forward. Nothing will be retro, you know, like if we stay under the 22 rule and something gets paid out, nobody's gonna ask for that back. It's not gonna be retroed or any of that. It's just, we're going to take a deeper dive and look at that.
Did you guys adopt that policy? So maybe just, it might make sense to maybe make that a motion, get it seconded and approved and to freeze it, pending further review, just sort of kind of check and
Okay.
balances a little bit.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you commissioners are comfortable with that.
Yeah, so Commissioner Banks filled me in on that. And I just want to say I'm so thankful that you guys worked as hard as you did and that you gave up most of your Christmas Eve so we could all make it to ours and to keep the roads safe. And again, when we, went through the policy manual, we couldn't think of every single scenario. But I do want to make it right. And I don't know what we're going to come up with, but I want to make sure that you guys are treated fairly and just let you guys know that I appreciate you. And so I would be fine with that. I don't know if you have anything to add.
No, I agree.
I'll make a motion to keep the 2022 policy in effect until we have time to rectify the issues with the policy that we approved, until we get it.
Is that just the overtime part or?
Let's just freeze the entire, should we freeze the entire policy? I guess we didn't think about that. I think, I don't have it in
Personally, I
front of
think-
me.
No, I think, I think we can just raise that portion that we found issue with. The rest of the policy manual can stand. I think personally, I would recommend just freezing the overtime pay, calculating PTO as hours worked for overtime pay.
Yes, the overtime only.
So I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
So in a second, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your right hand. That passes unanimously, and of course, I'll include that in the commissioner report tomorrow for council as well, to make them fully aware and hopefully collaborate with them as well, since they'll be voting on it as well. Is there anything today that the audience would like to add? Is there anyone here today who would like to speak? Okay, hearing none, I'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you all.
Yeah.